So now that we've gone over all the basics of this program, we can explore all of your needs in greater detail. And thank you so much for filling out these forms. I know it's a lot. So.
Yeah, it was like, again.
Well, it is important and it is worth it.
Yes,
so, because now we'll be able to create interventions for you that'll hopefully help your IBS.
Yeah, definitely.
When you were reading these forms, was there anything on there that jumped out at you or anything like that?
No, I'm pretty in touch with my medical history, I think. It's always like a puzzle, so I felt like everything was pretty, nothing that jumped out to the extreme.
Well, that's good you're on top of it.
Yeah.
You are aware.
I try.
So now we're going to go through these forms together and just go through and see what there is to talk about and see if we can find anything out.
Okay.
So your BMI is a 20, so you're in the right range.
Great.
So that's really good. So you wrote you're seeing a psychologist. Do you want to tell me more about that?
Yeah, so I started seeing them last year after I was let go from my job, and it was sort of a mutual departure, but I had a really stressful time kind of finding work again, and then I just kept on seeing them through breaking up with my boyfriend and then being in a new job, and it ended up really kind of helping me because I was definitely dealing with a lot of stress.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like your IBS symptoms were worse during these times?
Hard to say. They've been bad for a long time, but yes, definitely when I can tell that when I'm stressed out, things get worse.
Okay. And you also said that you've been diagnosed with PCOS and you see an endocrinologist for it?
Yeah, I maybe a few years ago was diagnosed, and they told me that there's nothing you can really do about it. Yeah, but that the endocrinologist kind of just monitors all of my levels. I also went to her because I had some thyroid. I was curious about whether or not my thyroid might be involved. So I had some symptoms, and so, I wanted to, what was I saying? Oh, I had some symptoms of the thyroid, and I wanted to kind of check that with her, so she helped there.
Okay. And then you also wrote that you traveled outside of the U.S. for a while, which we did talk about a little bit earlier. And this is when your IBS symptoms began to worsen.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So after that, I got a bacterial infection when I was over there. I took some antibiotics, and then after that, things just never really got better.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to China again and ate a lot. I came back and actually had some like gastro issues.
Oh,
after that,
okay.
I went to the doctor for it and got omeprazole, which is like like antacid, but in a really strong dose.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, TMI.
Yeah.
But so yeah. So that's kind of where I vetted out with the travel thing.
Okay.
Things have gotten a little bit better since then. Since
I
I changed my
good.
diet, which is great.
You've changed your diet? What have you changed?
Just definitely incorporating more like fermented foods, and I've learned a lot about, or tried to learn about microbiome, and
that's really good.
Yeah, I'm hoping that that's maybe helping.
Yeah, fermented foods are really good for the digestive system. Okay. So that's definitely a good start
on the right track
for you. Yeah. And you wrote that your family has, you have a family history of actually a few things, high cholesterol, heart disease, and diabetes.
Yes.
Are these pretty prominent in your family, or?
Yeah, actually. The diabetes, my mom's entire side of the family has it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and not type 1. One of them has type 1, her twin sister. And then her other family has type 2 diabetes. So the adult onset. And then heart disease, I think just a few of my family members, I would associate it maybe to diet, same. But I then also what else did I have?
High
cholesterol.
High cholesterol.
Yeah, that one is actually when I was looking into PCOS and I saw my doctor. She told me that could be a result of the PCOS.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
But I did notice
What?
more things. When I went back to get my blood panel again, they said that it looked much better after I had changed my diet again.
Good.
Like, I was afraid the first time and I changed my diet and then it looked better.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Do you feel like your diet growing up, what was that like?
Oh, that was terrible. I ate bagel bites and Pop-Tarts and Doritos and Twinkies and all of that. But I know. All the kids'
Diet
food.
of champions.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, it wasn't very good. I didn't know much about health and food, and I didn't care because I was really active. And my mom cooked home-cooked meals, but I just
Didn't want them.
ate what I wanted some of the time. So, yeah, maybe.
Well, it seems like you're very educated. Now you've done a lot of reading.
Right.
Sounds like.
Yeah, it's a thank you. I should say, not right. It's like a part of piecing the puzzle together, I guess. But
That's good.
I feel like I've been trying to come see somebody for a long time,
Yeah.
so this will be really helpful.
You seem pretty motivated.
Mm-hmm.
So then you said that you take some supplements, vitamin B complex, vitamin D, and caprylic acid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the vitamin B, do you want to know what, like?
Yeah, so what are your reasons for taking them?
Okay, got it. Because I read about it. So vitamin B I took because I heard it helps with like stomach issues and reduce stress levels and like constipation. And then vitamin D, I had low levels when I went and saw my doctor.
Okay.
So I took that, I got back up to normal, and then I just take it pretty much one a day. And then the caprylic acid is apparently for like yeast overgrowth.
Do you have a history of yeast infections?
Yeah, just like I take that like not every day, all day, but when I'm like battling something.
Okay.
So I get yeast very easily.
Okay.
I also like sugar.
I was just gonna ask, do you have sugar cravings ever?
All the time.
All the time?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, actually, I think you did write that you had cravings on your sheet.
Yeah, I don't even remember what I wrote on my sheet. I'm glad you remember. Because it was so long.
So also, so you say you exercise 3 to 5 times a week. Is that, I know you're a runner, is it mostly running or do you do anything else that's active?
Yeah, so I take some like fitness classes occasionally and lift some weights sometimes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's good. So you're pretty well rounded in that.
Yeah, I try.
That's good. And you also say that you have a pretty sedentary job and that you sit at the computer for more than 3 hours a day. Is there anything you try to do to like get up and walk around during the day, or do you find that you're sitting all day?
When I'm busier, I sit all day. When I have more time, I try to go out and walk for lunch and go get lunch and walk around for a minute.
Okay.
But I'd like to do some more. I'd like to figure out some more ways I could not be sedentary during the day.
Yeah. Where do you find most of your stress comes from? Like from work or from other areas?
Yeah, I think from work. A lot of it's self-induced. So it's not necessarily other people yelling at me or demanding things from me. It's more like me demanding like a standard from myself, I think.
Okay. And you also said that you have had difficulty sleeping. Do you want to tell me more about that?
Yeah, sometimes I notice like if I'm really stressed out at work or something, if I come home I can't unwind. And then I try to get in bed and I lay there and I think about what I have to do the next day and all these things.
Right.
I have like a very sensitive to caffeine. So sometimes like that. It definitely, like, I've noticed if I drink it after a certain time of the day, I'm like awake.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to just cut it out.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
It's
I should
difficult.
probably do that. Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Okay. But you do like to be social. You did say that you do drink alcohol. How often do you think you do that?
I definitely drink a couple times or like days a week, at least 2, maybe like 2 to 4 if it's like crazy. I'm having a lot of fun.
Well, that's good. You're having fun.
Yes.
Blowing some steam off.
Yes, exactly. But the happy hours are frequent, or maybe like drinking socially out on like one night a week, and
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So then now I'm up to your metabolic screening questionnaire. So you said that you have difficult time going to the bathroom. How many times would you say you go a week? Do you go days without?
Yeah, actually, that's very annoying, as I'm sure you can
I can imagine.
Yeah, sometimes it's anywhere from 2 to 5 days. I usually, like, when I travel, I notice it happens a lot. And
well, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, it'll take a while. Like, I've actually had to take like laxatives to make sure things move.
Okay. Do you do that often, or just you
no,
have done it?
I have done it. Yeah, I try
Okay.
not to, but.
So you mentioned before, we talked about you have sugar cravings. What do you usually give into it, or do you hold off?
Yeah, I give into it. I probably do like give in to sugar cravings a couple times a day, for sure.
Oh, a day.
Yeah.
What will you have? Like what?
Like I'll have chocolate, like dark chocolate. I try to have something that's a little bit better, but like dark chocolate or honey and things, and but yeah, sometimes like I work somewhere, where people are always bringing in things that are not
Right.
the healthiest, so like sometimes I'll give into a donut, or like.
Do you think your place of work will support a healthy lifestyle for you? Even though you say that people might bring in food.
I do, yeah.
Do they support wellness?
Yeah. People are pretty health conscious where I work. But again, it's like the bringing in the stuff that I like have no willpower.
Right.
So I'll just give in, and I'm like, okay, I twist my arm and eat the donut.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just like I'd like to be better about controlling that.
Right. So, I mean, looking at your diet log, it looks great to me. You are eating vegetables at every meal. I don't see any processed food on there for these 3 days. You had a lot of meat one days, which caused the calories and fat of the day to be high, but you even mentioned that that's not a typical day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it happens.
Right.
But overall, your diet looks great.
Okay, great.
And so you did mention that you think you might be a little sensitive to gluten. Have you gotten tested, or?
I have. Yeah, when I went to my doctor for a regular checkup, they were kind of testing for things just to see what my stomach was doing. But I also previously have cut it out for an extended period of time and noticed a difference.
Okay.
And noticed when I ate it, I felt sick. So
yeah, I've heard of that happening a lot. That a lot of people just generally feel better on it. There's not a ton of research on I don't know, non-celiac sensitivity.
Yeah.
But I think it's coming out, and we're getting there.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. So like after eating, do you generally feel uncomfortable or comfortable?
After eating in general?
Mm-hmm.
Actually uncomfortable. Like very bloated.
Mostly
Most of the time, yeah.
Okay.
It's very rare to like feel like great after eating.
Okay. So that's really about all I have to. I just have a few questions. I like to assess your readiness to change.
Okay.
Just to gauge where you're at. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it for you to solve your IBS symptoms?
Like 8.5 or 9.
Okay.
Like, it rules my life, I feel
Yeah.
like.
No, I totally understand.
Yeah.
And if you implement a new diet or try to make changes, how confident are you that through this program that you will succeed
I'm
in
fairly,
lessening?
yeah, fairly confident. I have a hard time like committing and following through with things, so I'll be like really gung-ho at first and try something
Okay.
for a
Well,
little
I'm glad
while.
you're honest.
Yeah, I'm all out on the table today. But yeah, I try at first, but I'm easily like demotivated.
Okay.
So I think it'll help to have somebody who's like checking in on me.
Oh, okay, that's great.
Yeah,
Great.
because then I'll feel like I have
Sometimes it's
responsibility.
easier to when you're, I don't know, when you have to, when you're, I can't think of the word. but-
Report to someone.
Yeah,
I
when you have
guess.
to like report someone.
Yeah.
Okay, so then now for the remaining time, we're going to give you something to do to help remediate your symptoms in the meantime, and
Okay.
then we can move on.
Okay.